This is the moment we decide to move to the French countryside. Hi, I'm Rahi. I'm a Canadian who's been living in France for the past 11 years. My husband Greg and I live in a little village in the Pyrenees, and this is my series where I'm breaking down exactly how we ended up here. From house hunting and banks to renovations and all the surprises in between. I'm not sugarcoating anything, just the honest version of how it really happened. So in 2022, we were living in Avignon right around the second confinement. And like everyone else, we were restless. We just wanted a change of pace. So we were on a hike in Mont Ventoux. Greg was hiking. I was mostly catching my breath. We were in an apartment then, and Greg's always been someone who needs space. Before, he'd lived in a house with a huge garden, completely isolated, and he kept saying how much he missed that. I told him that one of my dreams has always been to have a house in the mountains, not because I'm sporty or anything. I'm not a hiker at all, but it's just something I've always had on my vision boards. That idea of waking up to mountains, peace, silence, and that's when he said, why don't you check how much the houses cost there? And in my head, I'm thinking he's insane, and I'm thinking of Canadian prices. Like if you buy a house in the mountains in Canada, it's probably in the millions. But don't fact check me on that, but that's what I imagined. So I told him there's no way we could afford that, and he just said, let's look anyway. So there we are in the middle of our hike, opening Le Bon Coin on our phones, and we both just stopped because the prices weren't even close to what we expected. Actual houses with land for less than what we were paying in rent if we were in any other city. So in that moment, we were like, we gotta get out of here. Since I'd lived in Toulouse before and all my friends were still there, we decided we wanted to stay nearby, like max an hour and a half. And I had also lived in Lourdes before, around Tarbes and Pau, and even though it's beautiful and I loved it there, that chapter was done for me. So we started looking more east of Lourdes, around the Pyrenees, and places we honestly didn't know much about. So weekend after weekend, we drove around exploring tiny villages and hidden valleys, and we didn't know what we were looking for yet, but we knew we wanted to feel quiet and we wanted space and something that finally feels like ours. In the next episode, I'll show you what it was actually like visiting houses, the advice that people gave us, and early mistakes that almost made us back out. Follow for the next parts and more stories about life in France.